it's using the symbolic representation of the sun. How often do we see symbolic representation being played out in a literal sense at the same time in Scripture? This actually happens a lot. I'm out of state currently, so excuse the odd setup. So, reading in Judges right now, and it's going through different stories of when the Israelites are continuing to take over the Promised Land. But we're also seeing a reference of the different tribes using the names of the 12 sons of Israel. And so in Judges 1, it's talking about how like Manasseh and Judah and all the different sons, but it's referencing the tribes themselves. So it's using the symbolic representation of the sun, but referencing the tribes themselves. So each time it says, Manasseh did this, or Judah did this, or Joseph did this, it's a symbolic representation of the entire tribe of that person, even though that person has already been dead for decades, if not a couple centuries. It's using that name as a representation to that group of people. And we see that continue even in like the times of David and Solomon, where it said Judah did this or Israel did this. Judah took over Israel, attacked this or attacked this. It's referencing that entire group of people, that entire nation. So if we applied that same idea to modern day thing, even in our dreams, if let's say, for instance, like the United States or Russia was a son of God in some way, shape, or form, it would say it would say United States did this, and it wasn't necessarily a singular person that was doing it, like we would see in Genesis of the singular person of Joseph doing this, or the singular person of Judah doing this. It would be that entire people group as a whole, and it could be, and at the same time, it could be a specific person or people group representing that entire nation doing that. So it's always interesting whenever we're seeing this stuff in scripture and we're having to apply it to our modern day life, our current life, taking those ideas and applying it to us as a family, especially if you are going to, let's say, someone's funeral, for instance, or a birthday party, and you are representing a group of people. It could be said that, let's say someone is watching this video and their name is Jason or Mike or Ashley. And they go there and all of a sudden those people are seeing this person as a representation of their family. They're saying, yeah, Jason did this. And they're using that person as a representation over the entire family. So that's why many times we're having to be careful of who we represent, whether it's our company that we represent, our family that we represent, and it's not just us, not the micro, but the macro, the large person or the large people group is macro. So it's always interesting how these things they contrast in our everyday life. Now, if we apply this to our dreams, and let's say we know a person and they are the head of their family, and they appear in our dream doing something, it may not be literally that person, But that person appearing in the dream doing an action could be a representation of the entire family, or like a household doing an action that was in that dream. So this is something to keep in mind as we are going about our everyday life. We're even studying in scripture, and we're seeing these different things and the different functionalities within our life and how things occur, but also to help everyone and even myself open our mind a little bit more to the different possibilities of our everyday life and even the way we interpret scripture. Not saying that this is the only way, just one way to view the actions that are going on in scripture and our viewpoint. Y'all take care.